Okay, so here's the new improved shorts. Well, I'd love to show you sliding my phone into it, but I'm using my phone to record the video. Sorry about the background noise, air conditioners, nobody's buying boxes, I can't buy a new air conditioner. So the phone fits in here perfectly, so does a pack of smokes. I haven't actually worn these around a whole lot. I'm also not wearing a belt with these today, but it is what it is. So I did the back pocket also, which is actually way too big, but that doesn't bother me too much. So what am I doing today? Well, I've decided that I think I have just enough material to make another pair of shorts. So I wasn't going to shoot a video on it, and I thought, hey, you know what? I should probably shoot a video to discuss what I'm getting rid of from this pattern. What am I getting rid of in this pattern that makes this pair of shorts different than the pair of shorts that I'm wearing, which I'm not too crazy about. So let's take a look at that. Okay, take two. I had an epiphany earlier that I need to actually fold this. I needed to fold the fabric all the way over. This is 60 inches wide, give or take a little bit. So I used the 60 inch in the instructions here. It gives you the layout for if you're using 58 inch or 60 inch fabric. It's right here. This guy Todd Customs, he does a whole thing on how to deal with a pattern, much better than I do. So I'm going to skip all that. So this is the pattern that I already sewed, and if I have ambition, I'm going to put the other. This is actually video 2 of the same pattern. So it's 3884 quick sew, and I hated it. I hate them. And I said I'm wearing them already. I'm wearing them right now, but they're kind of uncomfortable. So I went through the pattern again, and I got rid of all of the pocket stuff for the back pockets. I got rid of all the back pocket stuff, and I actually already have the cargo pockets already made. So I'm not going to cover how to make the cargo pockets because they're already constructed. I did not put them on these pants I did not put these on the pants that I'm wearing, because I knew as soon as I tried these on that they sucked, and I didn't want to waste putting those pockets on for what turned into a pair of prototype pants. So what am I changing with the pattern that I'm doing? Well, the number one change is I got rid of all the back pocket stuff. I'm not going to use that design for the back pockets. I'm going to do the billows pocket just like I did on these. Even though this one's too big, I'm going to put billowy pockets in the back. I'm going to add a couple extra pockets. This, in the instructions, it says to cut this out of the liner. Okay, so this is the front pocket. I am not going to cut this out of a liner. These shorts are going to be lined with the same material that the shorts are made out of. Why is that? 2 reasons. The main reason being is I just cracked my back by breathing here. I don't have a suitable pocket lining material. Also, I'm really rough on my pants. I just am. I tear the pockets up. That's usually the first thing that goes on all my clothes is the pockets, because I stick pointy shit in them all the time. The other thing I don't like about these pants, these shorts, is the way the pockets are. So I'm going to probably make the pockets a little bigger in the front. We'll get to that when I start sewing it together. So what do I have laid out here? I've got this is the ass, this is the back side, this is the front side. So I need 2 and 2. These are the front pocket inserts. This is also part of the front pocket, and this is the pocket itself. And I'm cutting these all out of the material. Oh, and this is the zipper. This is the zipper flap, which is placed on the fold because this has got a fold in it. I haven't cut the interfacing yet because I'm not exactly sure what I am and I'm not going to interface. Actually, I take that back. This is the waist pattern. I should make I should just make 2 of these. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to cut all this stuff out, and then I'm going to fold. I'm going to have 4 layers of this because I'm going to do the same thing with the waist as I do with the pockets, which is to use the same material for the lining as the fabric, and I might actually skip the interfacing. This material is so heavy that I don't necessarily think that interfacing is necessary. We'll find out. We'll find out. I could probably, actually what I should do is cut interfacing for the waist at least, but this waist has it. This waist has interfacing in it. This material is so heavy, I really don't think I need interfacing. So, probably not going to cut interfacing. The other thing I have here is the crotch gusset. I only need 1 of these, so I'm only going to cut. I'm only going to cut 1 on a folded piece, so I get a perfect oblong football here. I'm going to spare you the cutting because basically it's just a cut, right? So I'm going to use my rotary cutter, scissors, what have you. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into a more manageable size, trying not to waste too much fabric. So I'll cut it kind of wastefully. Whoops. Ran off my cutting mat. Whoops. Whoops. This material is real thick, so it doesn't necessarily like to cut with that, unless you really lean on it. So you can see there's spots here and there. The other thing is, I dropped this cutter at some point and put a little nick in it where it folded the edge over. I have another wheel for it, but I'm not going to waste time with another wheel just yet. I just put myself in the fact up with a pen. Again, sorry for the air conditioners. I'm not shutting them off. It's already, it's 81 in here. I'm not too keen on the heat because I'm getting fat. Set that one aside. Oh, the other thing I didn't cut out was the belt loop. I didn't. There's a pattern for the belt loops also, but I did not cut that. I didn't cut the belt loops out, or I didn't lay the belt loop pattern out yet, because I'm going to do something different with the belt loops. Oh, I also need to add that I pinned the pattern to the fabric because I pinned the pattern to the fabric because experience has taught me that if I don't do that, I end up chasing the pattern all over the place. That's one of those learn from experience. Experience taught me, make sure you pin the pattern down. Also, it allows for me to no matter how hard I push, I always get that nick. It allows for me to do what I'm doing, which is to cut more manageable pieces. This bench that I have here is actually a woodworking bench that I've converted into my cutting bench. Once I move this stuff to the house, which isn't going to happen until the addition is done, I'm stuck with this kind of crappy setup I got going on here. It's not bad, but it's really not great either. I mentioned that with my Hawaiian shirts, my bowling shirts, that I'm going to eventually make hard patterns for that because I'd like to go into some limited production of the bowling shirts. And when I say limited production, I mean maybe I'll make like 5 or 6 or 7 of them for sale with different little sayings or what have you on the back of them. And that's only going to be one size, extra large. Eventually, I will break down and buy 2 good pairs of scissors. Right now, I just keep buying cheap, shitty ones. The Fiskars aren't bad, but they're not great. Yeah, so eventually, I am going to go into a limited production of the bowling shirts. When I do that, I will make hard patterns. I just haven't decided what I'm going to make those hard patterns out of yet. Most likely, I'm going to use chipboard. Chipboard. I might do it out of. I might actually, if I don't do it out of chipboard, if I can get plexiglass relatively inexpensively, I might do it out of plexiglass. So I leave the pattern pinned to the pieces because I am a slob and I absolutely lose shit constantly. For whatever reason, I set something down, and 10 minutes later I can't find it. I might be getting a little bit of this stenaz. So that there. Now I got to be careful here because this is the factory edge, which I'm actually going to use. I'm sure some seamstress someplace or tailor is screaming at me, don't use that. But this is the waistband, so I don't see any reason not to. I was commenting the other day to myself, because it's the only person that ever listens to me, that I'm really enjoying this new old hobby for me. It's new in that I'm actually making stuff finally. After years of owning the equipment and never really using it. This isn't working the way I want it to. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to cut 2 sections out anyway. I wanted to fold it, but 4 is too much. This material is super heavy. Back to the pins. I love this magnetic pin holder that I got at Hayes. It's cute. It came up on my. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little to this. I'm going to add. Actually, I'm adding to the wrong thing. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess. I really like this magnetic pin holder, and I'll show you in a minute why. I cannot reiterate how lazy I am. I am an incredibly lazy guy. I know it doesn't seem like it because I'm always doing something, but the truth of the matter is I am pretty lazy. I am cutting these extra long because I'm getting fat and the pants didn't fit right. Did I mention I'm getting fat? So I'm adding a little extra waist material. No pun intended. I can always trim this later to get a little bit nicer edges. You should cut it right the first time. You make your life a lot simpler. I'm not getting to this part of the project at all today. As a matter of fact, it's gotten so hot in here that probably not going to finish this today. This is actually just 3 inches wide. Yeah, I could have just used this. And then actually what I'm going to do while I'm cutting here is I'm going to cut another. Oh no! Oh, by the hair of my chinny chin chin on that one. I caught the end of this piece of material. Can't tell you how many times I've done that. I can. One too many. So while I'm cutting these here, while I'm cutting the waist out, so this is why I love this. I'm going to put these pins back in. So I just take all the pins out, and then you can just go one and pick them up. So we're going to put a clip on this one. This is just so I know what's what. Like I said, I have a really bad habit. I have a really bad tendency to be a slob, and being a slob, my bad habit is I'll pick a piece of material up and I'll put it down, and then I'll need a piece of material and I'll pick that piece of material back up and use it for something when I really shouldn't have used it for that. It's something that has actually plagued me a good part of my professional career. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I got a really bad habit of doing that. We're going to cut 2 at once here. Normally I'd run this over to the iron. I bought a really awesome iron not long ago that is really like it. It's a Singer iron. I never in a million years thought that having a good iron for stuff like this would make a difference, but man, that thing's like a nuclear, it's like a nuclear reactor, and it makes doing stuff a lot easier. So this is going to be my belt loops. I want these belt loops to be at least 1 inch wide, so this is 3 inches. I can fold it in an inch here, fold it in an inch there, not a little bit more, and get a pretty wide belt loop, which is what I want. I'm going to mark this belt. This is a chalk pencil that I got from Sailrite. I don't remember the brand. They use it in every single one of their videos. I highly suggest it. It's like $15. It's great. The only thing is, and this goes with any chalk pencil, drop it, the chalk on the inside breaks. So don't drop it. Found that out the hard way too. Alright, so cut this one out. The side, so we're going to cut holes in it. I have a little bit of a conundrum that I started with this, which is I am not going to put this dart in the pocket or in the pants, I don't think. So I think I'm just going to cut the waist seam along this line here. I'm going to have to figure that out. Maybe I will have to put the dart in. So I think it wants to be like that. know, I try to use a straight edge whenever possible for any straight cuts. Every straight cut, I use a straight edge. I am not. This is the back seam. This is the outside leg seam, and this has a little kick out in it for a hem. I'm not going to put that kick out in, but what I am going to do is leave this extra well into half an inch here on the material. I'm going to cut that later. We'll cut that in a minute. But I am going to leave it on this side. I am going to put it in this side. I can cut that later once I establish I'm not sure if that's supposed to be bent or not, but it's going to be straight now. Straight-ish. I can, because this is on the fold, I'm going to slit it that way, and then I'm going to leave this be, and then I will fiddle with the hem later. Yeah, I'm going to fiddle with the hem later, because I'm doing something that is kind of, I don't want to say like a faux pas nowadays, but I am going to actually make these shorts a little bit shorter than I'm going to make these shorts a little bit shorter than you would normally, than is fashionable nowadays. So you can see on the picture here, these are cut right at the knee. I'm actually going to probably go up another at least an inch, if not 2. I mean, why am I going to do that? The short answer this is supposed to be a double, and I just did one wide one. The short answer to why I'm going to do what I'm going to do with that is because these are specifically designed by me for work shorts. My knees catch the top of the hem and rip the I'm going to cut it this way. Maybe I will put the dart in. Maybe I won't. Let's see. The dart is just the fat. It's just for looks. It doesn't actually do anything. It's not like I'm putting pleats in it. I'm not putting pleats in these. And yes, you will notice that I'm trimming off little tiny bits of my pattern, which is not good, but that's also why I'm going to eventually, if I go into any kind of production on any of this clothing stuff, I'm going to make hard patterns. I did make some luggage the other day. It's turned out pretty cool. I'm going to do another video of that. There's only one chip like that. Let me set this aside. That aside. Put this one back out. the material I'm using doesn't have a good side or a bad side. If I was doing this with some kind of patterned material that has two sides to it, like this one, this has a good side and a good side and a bad side, I would I'd be paying a lot more attention to how I'm cutting the material. Right now, I'm not doing that. So today's goal, it's getting a little late in the afternoon. Today's goal is to just get the pattern cut and maybe get all the edges serged. I'm going to serge every raw edge, and then I'll figure out from there. I'll figure out what I'm going to do. Probably going to end up cutting this a little differently here. This is the pocket. This edge is not straight. That's why I'm not using a straight edge. This edge actually has a curve to it. These rotary cutters are the best thing that I ever came across. My friend Fernando turned me on to him years ago. He's a material engineer for Anhole, which did a lot of carbon fiber stuff. But yeah, Fernando turned me on to these things. I've never looked back. I know watching me cut a pattern's a little boring, but I'm giving myself this little extra bit here because of the fit problems I have with these. The more I wear them, the more comfortable they're getting, but they're still not as comfortable as I would like them to be. My preference would have been to put these things on and been like, oh, these are the greatest shorts I ever owned. Not putting them on and going, oh shit, they're too tight. These little arrows here are for aligning the waistband when you put it on. Okay. Wow, I'm actually pretty impressed with that. Oh, one more. Now I'm gonna serge all my raw edges. I'm gonna serge. I know I don't need to do that. It's actually probably detrimental. That's another reason I'm making the pattern a little bit bigger than it was, because the serger, if you have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you have to make it like a 1 inch seam allowance, because you're taking a 1/2 an inch off when you serge the edges. Oh. God, it's hot in here. All right, I'm going to go over to the serger and do some serging.